unbeaten, all-action former world champion in Jaime Munguia. The 12-round matchup headlines a PBC pay-per-view event on Prime Video that comes your way on Saturday, May 4th from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Recently, we announced the lineup of all-action pay-per-view undercard matchups. 4 world championship fights on the card. It is absolutely stacked from top to bottom. It starts at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. Our co-main event will be for the interim WBC welterweight championship. Mario Barrios defends his title against a very determined Argentinian in Fabian Maidana. Then it'll be for the interim WBC Featherweight championship. Before that, it'll be Brandon Figueroa matching up and putting his title on the line against Jessie Magdaleno. To open up the pay-per-view, it'll be for the WBA welterweight championship. Eimantas Stanionis will defend his crown against the very determined Venezuelan in Gabriel Maestre. In addition to the pay-per-view being available for purchase on Prime Video, regardless of Prime membership, fans will also be able to purchase the pay-per-view via DAZN.com. On top of these options, fans will continue to be able to access the telecast through traditional cable and satellite outlets as well as pay-per-view.com. That is PPV.com. The event promoted by Canelo Promotions in association, along with TGB Promotions, in association with Golden Boy Promotions and Zanfer Boxing Promotions. Tickets are on sale and available at AXS.com. You do not want to miss this card. 4 world championship fights coming your way on Saturday, May 4th, as we celebrate Mexican Independence Day weekend. First off, we want to mention one of the gentlemen that'll be involved in our first fight on the pay-per-view. His record, 6 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 5 wins coming by way of knockout, a 2-time Olympian out of Venezuela. He blasted out the former unbeaten rising prospect Trayvon Marshall in round 2 last August out on the East Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gabriel Maestre. Gabriel, unas palabras, por favor.
Bueno, muy contento por la entrevista y por esta gran oportunidad de pelear por el título mundial en esta cartelera de Canelo versus Munguía. De verdad que contento y nada, enfocado. Estamos teniendo un buen campamento y bueno, nada, para dar todo por ese día, el 4 de mayo.
I'm very glad that I am here in front of all of you in the media. Very happy to be a part of this great card of Canelo and Munguia, historic. And, you know, I'm also feeling really good because I had a great training camp, very focused, very on point, and I can't wait to show you guys what I'm all about.
Thank you very much, Martin Bater, our outstanding translator, as always. Now we want to welcome in the champion, a 2016 Olympian, represented his native Lithuania, now training in Los Angeles, earned his title with a hard-fought decision win over the previously unbeaten Radza Butaya back in April of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated champion, Eimantas Stanionis. Eimantas?
Hello.
Can you give us some opening comments on how you're feeling?
It's been a long time, I'm very happy to be back in the ring. It feels amazing and fighting on Cinco de Mayo on the big card. It's amazing. I can't express the feeling how I feel. It's going to be a great fight. I know Maestre, so it's going to be fireworks.
How hard have you been working so that there isn't ring rust that you have when you enter your world championship defense against Gabriel Maestre?
I don't think I will have some ring rust because I'm living the life of as an athlete. Every day I was training. I'm a very disciplined fighter, so it will be no different. I'm in really good shape. I was from every day I could fight in 6 weeks. I just was waiting for the call. So now here we are.
Gabriel, for you, how would you assess, Eimantas Stanionis? He's undefeated. He's very aggressive. It comes from, he's an Olympian just like you, quite accomplished. But, how would you preview the champion, Eimantas Stanionis?
Gabriel, Stanionis es un atleta olímpico tal y como vos lo sos. Y además O sea, y él obviamente viene con el pedigrí de campeonato. ¿Cómo palpitarías vos lo que va a ser tu pelea contra Stanionis?
Sí, sí, yo sé que él estuvo en los Juegos Olímpicos de Río en el 2016. Bueno, estuvimos los dos juntos y nada, nosotros nos conocemos. Él me conoce a mí, yo lo conozco a él. Peleamos en el Mundial de Qatar en el 2015. Él sabe que fue una pelea muy, muy dura, muy aguerrida. Ahí, bueno, fue una pelea muy apretada, pero de verdad que contento de pelear con él nuevamente en el ámbito ya profesional. De verdad que yo sé que, bueno, que es el campeón, que ha estado muy bien en todas sus peleas, pero bueno, vamos a ver qué pasa el 4 de mayo. Yo estoy feliz, de verdad que contento de pelear con él. Ya hace unos años atrás ya yo quería pelear con él y bueno, ya nada, Dios ya metió su mano y para mí es un privilegio.
It is truly a privilege to fight against Stanionis. He's a champion, and I respect him a lot. I have been looking for this fight for a long time now. Funny how things come full circle. Keep in mind that, like you said, he's an Olympian. We were together at the Olympics in Rio in 2016, and before that, we had a really, really tough, close fight at the Qatar World Cup back in 2015. So like it's been worth the wait, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Stanionis has now almost a decade later.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to Andrew Roberts, a member of our esteemed PR team. If you have questions, make sure to raise your hand. When we call upon you, come out with your question and mention your media outlet. Andrew, it is all you, my friend.
Thanks very much, Ray. Our first media question today will come from Keith Idek. Keith, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions. And oh, sorry, Keith, before you start, if we could please limit it to one question per fighter, per media member, it'll allow us to get to everyone. Go ahead, Keith.
Thanks, Andrew. My first question is for Eimantas. Eimantas, can you just explain to us how frustrating it's been for you? You won't have fought for 2 years by the time you get into the ring on May 4th. Can you explain how frustrating it was for you to go through those cancellations with Virgil Ortiz and how it affected your career and your life?
Hello, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was really hard times, it was like, what's going on, I just, what I want is just fight, and I couldn't get a date. So they said next month, and it's almost a year that the next month, So it was hard, but I stayed disciplined, always training hard, and I'm living the life like professionally, like really, really hard. I train and I just believe, in faith and God willing, I'll get a fight on May 4th. It's not yet, I'm not in the ring, so I'll be happy when I will step in the ring.
Okay, thank you very much. I have also a question for Gabriel Maestre. Can you ask Martin what he remembers from the fight against Stanionis? What was the official result? How the fight went, and was that the only time that they fought as amateurs?
Okay, so to recap, then what he remembers, then what was the result of the fight, and then his thoughts on how it developed.
No, have they fought? Was that the only time that they fought?
Oh, was that the only time they fought? Okay. Bueno, primero que nada, esta fue la única vez que peleaste contra Stanionis aquella vez en Qatar.
Sí, fue la primera vez que me encontré con él en Qatar. Sí, la primera vez que peleamos en los Juegos Olímpicos de Río. No pudimos conseguir, ya que bueno, él perdió, creo que la primera pelea y no pudo avanzar. Y yo gané la primera pelea y seguí avanzando a mi otras peleas.
Okay, so we'll do this in parts, that way everyone can get the answer from each thing. The first part is that yes, it's the only time that we fought, because in the Rio Olympics, if I don't remember mistakenly, he lost in the first fight, and I continued advancing. So we didn't get the chance to fight in Rio, and then we didn't get to fight in the pro. So I'm truly looking forward to getting the chance now to measure up against him once again. ¿Te acordás el resultado final de la pelea?
Fue dividida, fue una pelea muy reñida, pues a cualquiera de los dos que le fueran a alzar la mano, bueno, era el ganador, bueno, se lanzaron a él, pero fue una pelea muy dura y él lo sabe.
¿Te acordás el puntaje que dijeron los jueces?
3-2, como que fue.
It was a 3-2 split decision. And then the third one, Keith, could you please remind me? The third part? Keith?
He lost the fight, right?
Yeah, he lost the fight 3-2 split decision. Yes. And what was the third thing?
And what weight was it at?
¿En qué división fue? ¿Qué peso?
69 kilogramos.
69 kilograms.
Okay, and it was at the Qatar Cup. Is that what he said? I just want to make sure. I have it.
Qatar World Cup, but not the soccer one in 2022, the 2015 boxing World Cup.
Okay, thank you very much, Martin. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Ron Goodall with Fight Hype. Ron, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. My question's for both. Obviously, they're going to be fighting for the WBA. Mario Barrios will be defending his title. Is the ultimate goal to unify the titles with the winner of Mario Barrios, or maybe look at like a drawn Ennis in the future?
It's for both of them. Who do you want to start? Do you want to start?
Either or, for both.
Okay, Eimantas, go ahead, start.
Okay. Yeah, I think unification makes sense, white, and then go to get another titles. So yeah, I think unification with Barrios will be great, or Maidana.
Okay, que entonces la pregunta, Gabriel, es, considerando que Barrios y Maidana van a estar peleando en el evento coesteral también, ¿cuál sería el objetivo si ganás esta pelea? ¿Sería unificar? ¿Irías en busca de Barrios o Maidana? ¿O quizás considerarías a Butch Ennis como posible rival a futuro?
Mira, bueno, sí, mi meta es unificar, de verdad. Ese es uno de mis sueños. Esto es un sueño de todo boxeador. Cuando te vas cuando estás en amateur, bueno, tu sueño es ser olímpico, medallista olímpico, y cuando saltas de profesional, nada, ser campeón mundial y unificar. Y claro, con los mejores, con Stanionis, o bueno, tal vez entre la pelea de Maidana y Mario Barro también, ya que ellos van por un título de la WBC, y nada, unificar, esa es la meta.
Absolutely, unification is the goal, and not only that, unification is my dream. It's kind of where like you check off boxes of the dreams that you want to come true. First, in the amateurs, you want to be a gold medalist, right, or at least win a medal. Then, as a pro, you want to win a world title, and once you do that, you want to unify, and that's what I plan to do, either against Ennis or against the winner of Barrios against Maidana.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ron. Next question is going to come from Dario Nicolas Bess with La Casaca Boxing. Dario, please unmute yourself. You can ask your question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have a question for each boxer. First for Maestre. La edad es solo un número. Lo ha demostrado Barroso, ¿no? Un connacional tuyo, un venezolano. Otro venezolano más que hizo locuras en la división. Nos volaste la cabeza, vos particularmente, con la pelea que hiciste contra Trayvon Marshall. Fue muy buena esa pelea. Realmente me sorprendió. ¿Qué significa, obviamente, ir ante un segundo invicto consecutivo? Y encima, yo me estoy enterando de esto ahora también. Esto es una revancha, entonces. No es la primera vez que se cruzan. Esto es una revancha.
Así mismo es, así mismo es. Bueno, como tú bien lo dijiste, le dejo un número y ahí tenemos a mi compatriota Ismael Barroso, que bueno, que muchos peleadores le andan huyendo, no sé por qué. Debe ser que debe pegar duro, de verdad. Y nada, sí, ya yo había peleado con Stanionis en amateur en el 2015, en el Mundial de Qatar. Y nada, y contento ahora que, bueno, nos vamos a encontrar. Y sí, el año pasado tuve una prueba contra Trayvon Marshall y bueno, ahí está, ahí dimos el resultado. Y por eso es que estamos ahorita en espera de esta pelea con Stanionis. De verdad que yo siento y presiento que, bueno, que eso va a ser una gran batalla.
The question was about, his age, whether, what Barroso did inspires him to come out and also shock the world. And then also, like, he was surprised that this was a rematch, he didn't know. So Gabriel was like, you're absolutely right. It's a rematch, 9 years in the making. Can't wait, because it's going to be a great battle out there. So, and like you said, age is just a number. what Barroso did was really notable. You know, tip my hat to him. And I want to emulate my compatriot now and put Venezuela up high and keep showing what I showed last year against Marshall. You know, keep advancing, keep progressing.
Gracias, Maestre. Thank you, Martin.
Gracias.
For Stanionis, finally, we have got a fight going. Sadly, your fights have been postponed over and over, and you're a thrilling fighter to see. It's very sad to see you below the ring. But you have an interesting fight in front of you now. You surprised everyone winning against Butaev last time. It was a great fight, but are you ready to showcase your skills against the doubters more than just Maestre?
Yeah, for sure. You know, everybody thinks I've been 2 years off, and nobody knows me, nobody remembers me. But on May 4th, I will show that I'm back. And I will put a great performance like I always do. And especially on Cinco de Mayo, you have to come with something special. So I will be prepared.
All right, thanks, Dario. Our last question for this pair of fighters is going to come from Lance Pugmire with Boxing Scene. Lance, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Eimantas. I just wanted to ask you, just elaborating on the point you just made, your opportunity after this long layoff, I'm sure you've been working to develop your skills, and this is such a sensational card, like you said, Cinco de Mayo. Is this actually like a golden opportunity for you? What should fight fans see about the new and improved version of yourself?
Yeah, I trained very hard, and to be honest, I'm very, very hungry for this fight. I never been so hungry to get a W, and win all my country every day where I go. In my country, everybody asking when I'm fighting every single day. I'm not going to lie, So now we got a fight, we got a date. My country is behind me, everybody supporting, and I want also to give the fans like a good fight. So I was training and nothing changed, Same me, just getting better every time and improving. That's most important thing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lance. And thank you both, Eimantas and Gabriel, for your time. With that, I'll turn it back over to Ray Flores.
All right, thank you very much to Eimantas, Stanionis, and Gabriel Maestre. We wish them all the best of luck, and we look forward to seeing them both during Fight Week in Las Vegas. Now we will transition to our next pay-per-view matchup. This one is for the interim WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. First of all, I want to bring on the challenger. This man with a record of 29 wins, 2 losses, 18 wins coming by way of knockout, a former super bantamweight world champion, earned that title with a decision victory over future Hall of Famer Nonito Donaire. He has been on a stellar run at featherweight. 4-1 is his record here at 126 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a Las Vegas native. Here's the former world champion, Jessie Magdaleno. Jessie, how are you? Here we go. Just unmute yourself, Jessie.
There we go. Hello.
Jessie, how are you feeling heading into your matchup against Brandon Figueroa?
I feel great, man. I've been putting in the work, been staying in the gym, but first and foremost, always got to thank the man above. They got to thank God for, this opportunity. I also want to thank Brandon Figueroa and his team for accepting this fight. And, it's going to be a great show. And also PBC, thank you for, allowing me to be on your guys' platform.
All right, Jessie, we'll come back to you in a few short moments. Now we want to bring on the champion. He earned his title in his last bout in a Fight of the Year candidate against the former world champion Mark Magsayo of the Philippines. Captured the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship with a knockout to defeat Luis Neri, eventually losing the title. A unification matchup against Stephen Fulton that ended in a disputed decision. His record, 24 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 18 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending interim WBC featherweight champion of the world from Weslaco, Texas. We welcome on the Heartbreaker, Brandon Figueroa. Brandon, how are you?
Hello?
Yeah, Brandon, how are you?
All right, there you go. Hey, first off, I want to thank God. want to thank God for blessing me this opportunity. I mean, it's a big fight. I've been waiting for almost, a year. The Rey Vargas fight kept being put back, but now, we're here. Big shout out to Jessie as well, and my team, PBC, you guys, the media. You guys are amazing. So yeah, I'm just blessed and happy to have this opportunity and finally fight. Just how Stanionis was saying that, people were asking him, when are you gonna fight? When are you gonna fight? Same goes here. So I'm just happy and blessed that, the fight's already here and, just getting ready and prepared for it.
Jesse, for you, when it comes to, you have a lot of experience. Brandon also has been in some tough fights, but do you feel that you have the edge and experience over Brandon Figueroa?
I mean, of course, I've been in the ring, a long time. I've been in there with some great fighters. I have a huge amateur, fights as well too. I've been boxing for a long time, and I know Brandon has been putting his time, his hard work in the sport as well. And I don't overlook anybody. I know everybody comes ready, everybody comes prepared, everybody's hungry, and I'm just ready to get back in there, and show the world what I'm truly about.
What version of Jessie Magdaleno are we going to see on Saturday, May 4th?
I don't know. I got the blonde hair back, and the last time I had the blonde hair, I became world champion. So, I'm just ready, man. I'm just ready to get back in there, and just to show everybody what I'm about. Like, we're back in my hometown again, and I'm just pleased and very happy to be back in the ring.
All right, Jesse, now we'll talk with the champion, Brandon Figueroa. Brandon, you're no stranger to being involved in Fight of the Year candidates, high contact fights. You love to mix it up and go toe to toe. Because you are younger than Jesse, do you feel like youth is going to, be on your side?
No, I mean, I just think hard work, discipline, dedication, everything that it takes to be at the top of your game and, win these fights. I feel like youth is just, youth is just a number. It's just whoever wants it more, whoever's hungry, whoever wants to, just go out there and take it. That's what I feel like boxing is. The beauty of boxing is you work your butt off, you go out there, you put everything together, and you come out with the victory.
Do you like the prospect of fighting a guy that's not going to be difficult to find inside that ring? You love to cut off the ring. You like to rip the body. Does it excite you knowing that this guy in Jessie Magdaleno is not going to be too hard to fight on Saturday, May 4th?
I mean, that's a plus. You guys know I love to mix it up. You guys know I love to get in there and work the body and work the inside game. But like I said, I gotta do what I gotta do to win the fight, to make it look impressive. So I just gotta go out there and see how Jesse's coming and adapt to that, and work my way around that. But definitely it's gonna be fireworks. That's all I know. It's gonna be a great fight, great show for the fans, and like I'm coming to fight the same way I know he's gonna come to fight. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to mix it up in there. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
All right, right now I'm going to turn it over to Andrew Roberts once again from the media. If you have questions, raise your hand. Let us know what media outlet you're from and ask questions to both Jessie Magdaleno and the champion, Brandon Figueroa. Andrew, it's all you.
All right, thanks very much, Ray. Our first question is going to come from Keith Eidick with Premier Boxing Champions. Keith, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thanks, Andrew. My first question is for Brandon, and it's twofold. Brandon, I was just wondering, because Rey Vargas had a draw with Nick Ball and there seems to be some interest in a rematch, do you feel that if you beat Jesse next month, that will be your next fight against Rey Vargas, or that you might have to wait longer? And if you do have to wait longer, do you think that a rematch with Stephen Fulton is something that could materialize later this year?
Hey man, I'm like I said, like I've been waiting for Rey Vargas last year, been training for months and months. But like I said, I've been patient. This opportunity came, and I took it. I just said, you know what, let's fight. I've been itching to fight. I've been itching to get back in the ring and give fans a great show. And yeah, man, I mean, whatever. I just want to fight the best of the best. I want to fight the champions, and R. Vargas decides he wants to fight later this year, then let's get it. If not, then Stephen Fulton. I mean, I'm just down to fight whoever's down to fight, whoever's down to make amazing, exciting fights, fight of the year candidates. You know, I just want to fight the best of the best. That's always been my goal. That's since day one, and I want to prove not only to myself but to everyone that, you know, I want these fights. I want these big fights. I want these big names, and I want to keep, you know, winning these titles.
Thank you, Brandon. And my question for Jesse, what would it mean? You've been through a lot in your career, obviously. What would it mean for you to, you know, on May 4th to pull off what would be considered an upset and to become an interim champion and put yourself in a great position?
Man, that'd be great. You know, it's what's been on my mind. It's what has me focused. It's what has me in the gym, you know, working my ass off for this. You know, being a guy like Brandon it's huge, you know, because he comes to fight and he puts a hell of a show each and every time he steps into the ring. And you know, as well as I do, you know, we both like to bang it out. We both like throwing a lot of punches, and we're both heavy hitters. And I just know May 4th, you know, winning the title, winning the WBC title, you know, it's going to be something huge for me. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for this.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right. Thanks very much, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Alfredo Sanchez with Telemundo 60. Alfredo, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Yes, Alfredo Sanchez from KRGV, Noticias RGV in the Rio Grande Valley. This is a double question if I'm permitted for Brandon in Spanish. Brandon, primero, felicidades por el regresar al cuadrilátero. ¿Cómo se siente de pelear en una cartelera que está, al igual, pues estás compartiendo cartelera con Canelo Álvarez, un mexicano, un boxeador muy reconocido? ¿Cómo se siente de ser de parte de una pelea de Canelo Álvarez que se llevará a cabo el 4 de mayo?
No, sí, por supuesto. Primeramente, gracias a Dios por esa oportunidad. Me ha bendecido a mí y a mi familia. Sí, estoy muy feliz por esta oportunidad y yo sé que es una cartelera muy grande. Yo sé que todos mi gente del RGV, de Tamaulipas, de México, van a estar viendo esta pelea, me van a estar apoyando. Estoy bien agradecido por todo lo que me ha dado Dios, y no solamente eso, pero pues gracias a PBC, gracias a todos que hizo esto posible. Estoy listo, estamos listos, estamos entrenando por mucho tiempo ahora, y ahora nada más es tiempo de poner todo junto y pues sí, acabar los últimos detallitos aquí en el campo de entrenamiento para ir a la pelea al 100% y darle a los fans un great show. Estoy muy, no sé cómo describirlo, pero ya estoy muy ansioso para entrar al ring y pues para hacer una buena pelea contra Jesse.
The question was what it means to Brandon to be a part of the CaneloMunguia card. Brandon, you want to do the same answer by in English?
Yes, yeah, you know, just, you know, want to thank God, PBC, everyone that put this together. Great opportunity and blessed for me and my family. I'm just very anxious to get back in the ring, very excited to give fans a great show. I know, you know, it's been a long time since I've gotten back in the ring, but, you know, I'm just happy and blessed to be able to share the ring with Jesse and, you know, give fans a great show. You know, it's going to be an all Mexican card, Mexican atmosphere. I already feel it. And I know my people from the RGV 956 back home will be supporting and you know, pushing me on. So I'm grateful for that.
And one more for Brandon, otra vez en español. Brandon, entonces, obviamente se conoce que tuviste que esperar casi un año. La última vez que tuvimos el privilegio de verte en el cuadrilátero fue contra Magsayo, fue en marzo. Entonces, desde ese entonces ha habido una ausencia. ¿Qué tan frustrante se sintió? ¿Qué tan paciente tuviste que estar para finalmente regresar al cuadrilátero? Que ya tenemos establecido la pelea contra Jessie Magdaleno. Entonces, lo frustrante que fue y lo paciente que tuviste que ser.
No, sí, claro. En este deporte tienes que estar muy paciente. Yo sé que mi tiempo iba a venir. Yo sé que siempre Dios pone todo en tu camino. Nada más era tiempo de, sí, nada más esperarte, tener paciencia, y es algo que yo siempre cargo muy dentro de mí siempre ser paciente y esperar en los momentos perfectos. Yo sé que a lo mejor en el momento, pues yo sé que sí, ya quería pelear y no, al otro mes, pero siempre tener Dios en la mente, siempre tener la paciencia de seguir trabajando, seguir esperando y pues mira, una oportunidad muy grande en la cartelera de Canelo. Wow, es algo muy emocionante para mí y mi familia y pues sí, yo digo que son beneficios y sacrificios que un boxeador tiene que hacer para pues, tener esas oportunidades muy grandes. Sí, yo sé que ha sido mucho tiempo sin pelear, pero aquí estamos listos y con mucha hambre.
The question was about, you know, how he handled the weight of 15 months ever since we saw Brandon fight against Magsayo, how he handled the ring rust and both the psychological and physical part of it. Brandon, in English, if you want to say the same thing, but in English, please.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And yeah, I just had to be patient. I know that, yeah, it's a little frustrating, but, as a boxer, I'm pretty sure every boxer knows that, boxing comes and goes. You may have a fight in a few months, you may not. And I know it's all part of the business, all part of the sport. So sometimes you have to be patient, let God handle all things above you and let him align what he wants for you in your path. And look, a big card like Canelo is going to be an all Mexican card. And I just couldn't be more happy about that. So it's a big fight. And, I'm here for these big fights and I'm ready for these big fights. So I'm just happy and blessed that May 4th will finally I get to go out there and do my thing.
All right, perfect. Thank you for those questions, Alfredo. Next up, Lucas Cattell for Boxing Scene. Lucas, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thank you. I've got a question for both, and it's the same question. What do you see in your opponent, and what are how do you see the matchup potentially playing out, and what are some of the strengths and weaknesses that you initially see?
Jesse, if you want to start off.
I know Brandon comes to fight. He's a very forward fighter. He comes forward. He throws a lot of punches. He's very he comes in great shape. There's never a doubt where he's not in good shape. So we watch tapes. We watch what he does, and he's a good fighter, and as well as I am, and we come ready. Every time. I don't overlook anybody. Like I said before, we're just here to showcase what we got. I have a lot left in me in my tank, and I know I'm ready for May 4th. It's a big fight. It's a big fight card, and first and foremost, I'm just super excited about this. It's a great fight. It's a great matchup for me, for my style, and I'm just waiting for the fireworks. It's gonna be a great fight.
All right, and then Brandon, if you could please answer the same question.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, I know Jesse's a former world champion for a reason. He's been in there with best of the best, and that's all I could ask for. Just someone that's willing to fight, someone that's willing to give fans a great show, someone that's not going to be hard to look for, and like he said, it's going to be fireworks. So I'm just excited. I can't wait. This is something that I've been waiting for almost a year, and I have a great opponent like Jesse for us to give fans a great show and for me to showcase my skills the same way as he wants to showcase his skills. And, we're both hungry. I feel like this layoff really lit that fire in me again to, just want to go out there and make statements and, just win impressively. That's what boxing is all about, is win impressively, impress everyone and, keep getting these big fights. So I just can't wait for May 4th to come, for us to, share the ring and just do what we love to do, is fight and give fans a great show.
All right, perfect. Thank you for that question, Lucas. Last up for this pair of fighters, Ernesto Amador with No Puedes Jugar Boxeo. Ernesto, if you could please unmute yourself, you can ask your questions.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna have one question for Jesse, another one for Brandon, and I will ask in Spanish. Jesse, Ernesto Amador de No Puedes Jugar Boxeo. Un placer saludarte, Jesse. Siento que la gente se equivoca al decir que llegas casi por el cheque. te vi ganarle a Nonito Doner, conozco tu carrera y además puede ser una de tus últimas oportunidades de título. ¿Qué estás dispuesto a hacer para probarle a la gente que esté equivocada contigo?
Pues yo ya sé que la gente se equivocan, dicen cosas de mí, pero está bien. Yo no pienso en eso, yo no pienso que lo que dice la gente, yo enfoco en lo que estoy haciendo, enfoco en mi entrenamiento, yo le doy 100% a este deporte, igual a yo solo le doy 100% cada vez que entro al ring y pues yo estoy aquí listo para pelear contra Figueroa. Yo sé que es un peleador bueno. Yo sé que mucha gente nomás me ve que, nomás está por los cheques. No estoy por los cheques, estoy para hacer mi legacy, para todavía ganar los títulos y pelear por los títulos. Am, Mucha gente que habla así no sabe boxeo, nunca han peleado, nunca ha recibido un golpe o nada de eso. Eso no me importa. Lo que importa es que yo me siento bien, yo estoy listo y yo sé que con la fe de Dios vamos a salir con la mano alta.
Ok.
So the question was about how Jesse deals with the outside noise, and everything that comes with it. Jesse, me podrías hacer un favor y decir lo mismo que acabo de decir ahora, pero en inglés para los periodistas en inglés, por favor?
Sí.
Go ahead. He's gonna say it in English.
A lot of people overlook me. A lot of people, they doubt me. They say things about me. It's been like that since the beginning of my career. And honestly, I don't care. I don't care what people got to say. As long as I'm dedicated to myself and dedicated to my craft and my job and what I'm supposed to do. Honestly, the people whatever they got to say, it doesn't mean anything to me. I know with my faith with God and all the hard times that I've been through and everything, I'm focused, I'm ready. I didn't get a good outcome my last fight, but I'm just ready. I know Brandon comes ready, I come ready. And it is what it is. People talk, they've never put on the people that talk, they never put on a pair of gloves. They don't know what it feels like to get in the ring and to risk your life and battle it out with another great a great fighter. And so with that being said, I don't care what people got to say. I don't care what the critics have to say about me, because at the end of the day, I come ready each and every time, and I want to just fight for the best, fight against the best, and fight for all the titles, and that's what we're here to do.
Esta pregunta es para Brandon. Brandon, te saludo con mucho gusto, resto amador de No Puedes Jugar Boxeo. Brandon, qué gran oportunidad de pelear en una cartelera de Canelo y Munguía. La gente dice que no eres mexicano por tus ojos azules, porque eres de piel blanca. ¿Qué estás dispuesto a hacer para demostrarle al público en una noche tan mexicana que también tienes sangre mexicana en tus venas, Brandon?
Oh, yo sé, ese es uno de las cosas que siempre me dicen que no soy mexicano. Pues mi padre son nacidos en México, Tamaulipas, en Río Bravo. Nos criamos en México. Yo tengo la sangre bien, bien pesada. Y no solamente eso, pero pues yo sé que la gente se equivoca. Pero ya el 4 de mayo se van a dar cuenta que yo soy un peleador mexicano, más mexicano que nada. Tengo la sangre bien pesada y yo creo que se van a dar cuenta que soy uno de esos peleadores mexicanos tradicionales como uno de los Julio César Chávez, Pepito Cuevas, todos esos peleadores que eran leyenda en México. Yo quiero ser uno de ellos, quiero representar a mi país, porque yo creo que sí es mi país, son mis raíces. Y no solamente eso, pero yo quiero enseñarle a todos que nada más porque tengo los ojos azules, la piel blanca, no significa nada. Yo vengo a pelear y darle a los fans un great show. 4 de mayo va a ser algo espectacular para mí, porque yo quiero enseñar cosas nuevas, quiero impresionar a la gente, no solamente eso, pero cargar el nombre de México en mi espalda y representarlo muy bien.
The question was, what's your reaction when people say that they don't see you as Mexican because you're a white guy with blue eyes? Brandon?
No, yeah, I mean, I always get mistaken. Even as a baby, my mom would carry me to cross the border back to her hometown, Rio Bravo, Tamaulipas, and they would always stop her and question her, asking if she had kidnapped an American baby, because mind you, all my siblings, you know, brown skin, brown eyes, and I was the only one really white complected, dark blue eyes. So, you know, a lot of people would ask her if she would babysit an American family, and to me, you know, that's I don't care about that. You know, I just want people to know me for me, and I carry the Mexican blood deep in me, and I love Mexico. I love my roots, and you know, it kind of does hurt when people don't consider me Mexican, despite my parents, you know, both being born and raised in Mexico, and us being raised in Mexico as well. So, you know, I guess I gotta show them May 4th that, you know, I'm a traditional Mexican fighter. I come forward. You know, my mindset and my demeanor, everything represents Mexico, and I love my Mexican roots, and I want to represent my Mexican roots, and you know, worldwide. You know, I want to show everyone that yeah, I'm an American and Mexican boxer, but I consider myself a little bit more Mexican due to my roots, and you know, I even have an accent. A lot of people say I have an accent, and you know, like I said, I just love carrying Mexico on my back. So yes, I can't wait to showcase that. And you know, a lot of people get impressed on my Spanish, but you know, it's something that's been instilled in me since I was a kid.
All right, Brandon and Jesse, we
Thank you
thank
very
so much.
yeah, sorry, Ray. Thank you very much for that, Ernesto, and thank you to both Brandon and Jesse for your time today. With that, I'll turn it back over to Ray.
Thanks so much. We appreciate the time, Brandon and Jesse. Good luck. We'll see you guys during Fight Week in Las Vegas.
Cool. See you guys soon.
All right, now we get to our co-main event, our final matchup that we're going to be dissecting here on this call. It is for the interim WBC welterweight championship of the world. First of all, we want to bring on the challenger. 22 wins, 2 losses, 16 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the younger brother of former 2-division world champion Marcos Maidana. He enters this fight having won 4 straight, looks to make it 5 in a row, and become a world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Margarita, Santa Fe, Argentina. Here is Fabian TNT Maidana. Fabian, unas palabras para la gente.
Bueno, primero que nada, hola a todos. Y bueno, nada, contento de estar en esta cartelera de Canelo como un guía y bueno, ser la coestelar de esa noche. Así que nada, contento, feliz y esperando que llegue el 4 de mayo.
Well, first of all, thank you, everyone. And I'm really happy to be a part of this great card, CaneloMunguia, everything that it represents. And I can't wait until May 4th comes around.
All right, we're going to get to you in a few short moments. Now we want to bring on the champion. He comes to us from San Antonio, Texas, training in Las Vegas, scored a career best victory in his last outing when he was able to drop former world champion Yordenis Ugas twice en route to a unanimous decision victory. He is a former super lightweight champion of the world and now the reigning and defending interim WBC welterweight champion of the world. He possesses a record of 28 wins, 2 losses, 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the always entertaining and the champion, Mario El Azteca Barrios. Mario, how are you?
I'm doing great, brother. You know, happy to be here. Happy to be on. I have this opportunity. Just you know, excited once again.
Mario, you fought on the last Canelo card when he fought Jermell Charlo, but now when celebrating Cinco de Mayo, you're the co-main event against Fabian Maidana. As the main event is Canelo and Munguia. What does this opportunity mean to you? You've been on big cards before, but this one particularly on May 4th.
Yeah, no, it's huge. You know, I'm just very grateful. You know, the last fight, you know, was the first time I had been on the Canelo undercard. And you know that was an unreal experience. And you know now I have this opportunity, you know, being the co-main on Cinco de Mayo weekend. You know, that's hard for me to put into words. I'm just, you know, like I said, grateful. I'm motivated, you know, I'm focused, and you know, I'm just getting ready for May 4th.
You've accomplished a lot in your career. I remember when you were fighting in the lighter weight classes, you know, on ESPN, and now, you know, you're here at 147. You know, you were former world champion at 140. Do you feel like a young veteran?
Yeah, you know, I do actually. It's funny because in the gym, Bob Santos will call me a veteran every now and then, and I'm always like, man, dude, like, relax. Uh, but you know, and I've been professional now, 10 years. You know, I've started at 126. It's been a long road, but you know, I'm just very happy. You know, where things have gone with my career. You know, I've stayed focused. You know, I've stayed grounded. I've kept good people around me, and you know, I think that's the reason why everything has gone this way.
All right, now we're going to talk with the challenger, Fabian. Is this the fight? You know, people mention about how you're the brother of Marcos Maidana, but is this the fight where you're able to step out of his shadow and really sort of cement your status as being your own entity?
¿Sentís que esta es la pelea, Fabián, en la que vas a poder salir de la sombra de tu hermano y dejar de ser el hermano de, para ser Fabián el campeón de? Fabián.
No, bueno, sí, te escuché. No, yo creo que yo hice mi camino, siempre hice mi camino en el boxeo, así que nada, gracias a Dios que me dio esta oportunidad de estar peleando un título del mundo, así que nada, contento, feliz y enfocado en ganarme ese título ese día y demostrar de que estoy hecho.
No, look, I've always made my own way. I've never seen myself as being in the shadow of anybody. And thank God I have this opportunity to be in this great card, to have the chance to fight for the title. And my goal is gonna be to be a champion and showcase my skills on May 4th.
How much confidence do you have having won 4 in a row? You're on a roll here, but the momentum that you feel heading into this matchup against Mario Barrios on May 4th.
¿Qué tan importante es el envión que sentís cuando estás enrachado de esta manera con 4 victorias al hilo? ¿Cómo te ayuda eso de cara a esta pelea?
No, la verdad que esta pelea es diferente a todas, ¿no? Este es un título del mundo, así que estoy muy emocionado. Estamos terminando la preparación acá en Las Vegas. Y nada, contento, feliz de este combate y bueno, ese día darle un buen espectáculo a la gente y poder llevarnos el cinturón para Argentina.
This fight is unlike any other. It's a world title fight, so can't really compare it to the four fights I won before. But what I can tell you is that I want to show up and show out on May 4th. Go out there, win the fight, and bring the belt back to Argentina.
All right now I'm going to turn it over to Andrew Roberts from the media. If you have questions, raise your hand and then come out and ask your questions to Mario Barrios and Fabian Maidana. Andrew?
All right, thanks very much, Ray. Our first questions are going to come from Keith Eidick with Premier Boxing Champions. Keith, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thanks, Andrew. My first question is for Mario. Mario, I was just wondering, I know you can't look past Maidana here, but you're heavily favored going into the fight. And I was just wondering if you could tell us what types of fights you hope happen for you later this year, assuming you're able to win this fight, you know, maybe potentially Stanionis and Maestre, the winner of that fight, or who else you might be looking at for unification fights.
Yeah, you know, the welterweight division is the stacked division. You know, we have a really exciting, you know, welterweight, you know, championship fight, you know, opening up the card with Maestre and Stanionis, you know, both, you know, tremendous fighters. But yeah, no, you know, looking forward, you know, first, you know, I have to, you know, go in there and handle business, you know, with Fabian, and you know, given you know everything goes our way, and then how we're planning, you know, then you know, I want, you know, those are those big fights that I want, you know, whether it's the unification fight between the winner, whether it's boots, you know, I want to, you know, just fight the best in the division. I've always, you know, taken, you know, the hardest fights, you know, in my career, and you know, that's exactly what I know I intend on, you know, continuing.
Thank you, Mario. I just have a question for Fabian as well. Martin, if you could just ask Fabian if he could take us back to when he was supposed to fight your Dennis Ugas on the Spence, you know, when Spence was supposed to fight Pacquiao, and then, of course, he suffered an eye injury of his own. I was just wondering if he could detail to us exactly what the eye injury was. Was it career-threatening? And did he think that maybe he had lost his opportunity? He's obviously fighting for a welterweight title here, but did he think that that opportunity might have passed him by when he got injured before he was supposed to fight Ugas.
Fabián, volvamos en el tiempo a como cuánto, hace un año y medio, cuando Spence y Pacquiao iban a pelear. Bueno, y vos ibas a pelear contra Ugas. Spence tuvo su lesión en el ojo, vos tuviste tu propia lesión en el ojo. Lo que él quiere saber es si tu lesión en el ojo te llegó a amenazar la carrera, si llegaste a pensar en retirarte por esa lesión, y si además pensaste, uy, pucha, me quedé sin la oportunidad de mi vida, quizás que un tren que no va a volver cuando te quedaste sin formar parte de esa cartelera.
Bueno, la verdad que lo que pasó, no sé, solamente Dios sabe y nada, fue un pequeño corte en un sparring, pero nada, sí quedé como diciendo, no, quería pelear esa noche en una gran cartelera también, estaba Manny Pacquiao, Spence, pero bueno, no se dio y se dio ahora, así que por algo pasan las cosas. Y hoy estamos enfrentándonos a Mario Barrios y por el título del mundo. Así que nada, los tiempos de Dios son perfectos y acá estamos para llevarnos ese título.
Yeah, look, the injury itself was a small cut during a sparring session. Did it piss me off? Of course. I mean, I was about to fight in a great card like Spence and Pacquiao, where things happen outside my control. But God willing, everything happened the way it was meant to. And now look at me fighting here in the CaneloMunguia fight, going for the title against Mario Barrios. So I'm focused on this great opportunity and not dwelling on the past.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you, Keith. Our next questions are going to come from Lance Pugmire with Boxing Scene. Lance, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Right. For Mario, I just wanted to ask you, it seems like right now in the welterweight division, the C's are kind of partying when you talk about Crawford, Spence, and Danny Garcia going up to 154. This glamour division has this window for someone to step into and really become the star of the division. Have you considered that, and how thrilled and excited are you about that potential?
I'm very excited. I knew, that this year, the welterweight division, was going to be, become very, exciting. There's a lot of things moving around, a lot of things opening up, for opportunities and, and for new champions. And, it seems that, all of us, that are, fighting for these titles, that are fighting these title eliminators, we all have, the same mentality. We all want to, fight the best. We all want to bring boxing, the most exciting fights, the unification fights. And, so I think, by the end of the year, things are, going to be, even more exciting. And, we're going to continue on having those big fights. And, I plan on being, in, the majority of those really big fights.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Lance. This question is going to come from Ron Goodall with Fight Hype. Ron, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
All right, awesome. I got a question for each. First and foremost, to Mario Barrios, congratulations on the news with the new baby girl announcement that's coming. So I'm sure this is going to change a little bit of how you think in camp. But my question for you is that when you think of the Maidana name, right? Obviously, we know that he's been in big fights, specifically Floyd. Are you looking at, his brother kind of the same way? Like he may potentially bring that same type of intensity that was brought to Floyd?
Yeah, no, definitely, if not the same intensity, that same focus, that same drive. How he was saying, he had, an opportunity come up beforehand, that fell through, and but now, he has another opportunity, so I know, he's not taking this fight lightly. I know he's gonna come with everything, and that speaks a lot, on him. The type of fighter that he is, and I definitely I respect that. Shout out to him, for taking this fight, stepping up. But yeah, I'm expecting, another, hard fight. I'm preparing, myself for, a brutal 12 rounds, regardless, how the fight goes. So, I'm excited.
Awesome, thank you. And to Fabian, I can only imagine that his brother spoke to him about a tough fight against Mario Barrios, who's been a seasoned fighter who's won his big fights recently. What has his brother told him, in preparation of this fight, if you can reveal?
¿Qué podrías revelar en cuanto a consejos se trata de lo que has hablado con tu hermano, también de lo que él te contó también de su experiencia como pelear en un campeonato mundial en Las Vegas?
No, la verdad que no hay que transmitir mucho. Sé que sabemos que es una gran pelea y que bueno, que hay que dejar todo en el ring y demostrar que ganamos la pelea. Y bueno, como siempre, salir a pelear y a dar todo.
¿Pero él no te dijo nada, Marcos? ¿No te dijo nada en particular?
No, me dijo que es una gran pelea y que hay que tirar para ganar. Hay que tirar muchos golpes.
You know what he told me? He was like, this is a great fight, and in order to win great fights, you gotta throw a lot of punches. So, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out there and, fight like a World Title fight is supposed to be fought. With all my heart, with all my grit, and going out there to show that, that the Maidana name is still up high there.
All right. Thanks very much for those questions. Next up, Carolina T. Please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
I have two questions for Mario. Mario, you said you kept good people around you. Are there any particular fighters, trainers, etc., that are specifically based out of San Antonio that you've leaned on mentally during training camp? And if so, what advice have they given you?
Yeah, I mean, I kept the same team from the very beginning. But all the coaches and everybody, from back home, that I have always, kept around, been around, all the fighters, my good homies, Bam Rodriguez, Josh Franco, and there's so many names. But yeah, we all, we all keep in touch with each other, we all, are still, behind each other, 100%. And I'm very grateful, that San Antonio has that close knit boxing community. But yeah, kept the same people behind me, and yeah, I know I still have their support and everything. So I mean, that means a lot to me.
And I know they're supporting you. Have they given you any particular advice? And then I have one last question.
Nothing particular, they just, always give me their support. I know if I ever need anything, I can reach out. So that's the important part.
Okay. And also congratulations on your bundle of joy. I know you are preparing for this fight, but are you prepared to be a dad?
I think I'm prepared, or I'm doing my best, to be prepared. But thank you for the congratulations. I'm looking forward, to this fight. I'm looking forward to being a father, later this year. But first things first, I had to go out there, May 4th and take care of business.
All right. Thanks for those questions, Carolina. Our last questions for today are going to come from Ernesto Amador with No Puedes Cigar Boxeo. Ernesto, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thank you, Andrew. Let me start with Fabian. Fabian, un gusto verte, querido. Qué difícil ha sido tu carrera a pesar de tu apellido. La gente cree que porque te apellidas Maidana han sido las cosas fáciles. Todo lo que se ha cruzado en tu camino te hace ser la versión más peligrosa del TNT Maidana para esta pelea.
Sí, bueno, la verdad que la gente compara, pero no, o sea, mi hermano fue un grande y lo admiro mucho, pero bueno, nosotros estamos forjando nuestro camino y nada, venimos bien preparados, ¿no? Tuvimos una carrera dura y bueno, gracias a Dios hoy se dio esta oportunidad contra Mario Barrios y pelear el título del mundo, así que nada, venimos con toda la fe, bien preparados y a dar una batalla para poder ganar ese cinturón.
The question from Ernesto was, well, it was more of a statement at first where he was like, the Maidana name, people may think that, it made things easy for the younger brother, but it hasn't been the case at all. His career has been tough. what has that meant for him in trying to forge his own path. And you know, Fabian was saying that, you know, like my brother, he was a boxing great, and I admire him. But I forged my own way, proudly so. And now I'm gonna go out there on May 4th and put up a battle, a battle that, you know, that people are gonna enjoy, put on a show, and then, you know, hopefully be able to be remembered for what I do, and, you know, to be able to forge my own legacy.
Finally, Mario, nice to see you. It's not about Mario anymore. It's not about Mario's foods anymore. It's about your family food. It makes you hungrier than ever, you know, because now it's not about you anymore. It makes you hunger.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm excited, you know, I'm very motivated, you know, now, you know, how you said it's more than just me, you know, now, you know, I'm getting ready, you know, to, you know, have a daughter, you know, have a family. And, so yeah, you know, it's a different kind of motivation. And, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm excited, you know, to go out there, you know, Cinco de Mayo weekend. It's a big weekend, you know, for our Mexican people, our gente. And, you know, I'm looking forward, you know, to giving everybody another great show.
All right, great. Thank you for that, Ernesto, and thank you to all the media that joined us today. We also obviously appreciate you, Mario, and Fabian for your time. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Ray to get closing comments from the fighters.
All right, thank you very much. Fabian Maidana, Saturday, May 4th for the interim WBC Welterweight Championship of the World, the co-main event of CaneloMunguia that comes our way on Prime Video. It is PBC Pay-Per-View. You can also purchase it at DAZN.com. What is the result going to be against Mario Barrios, Fabian?
Bueno, Fabián, danos un vaticinio. ¿Cómo termina la pelea contra Barrios?
No, la verdad que no te puedo decir nada, solo sé que va a ser una guerra y va a ganar el mejor ese día.
I can't tell you how it's gonna end. All I know is that it's gonna be a war, and that the best man is gonna end up winning that night.
Mario, for you, I know you're fighting with extra added motivation as you spoke about at length, but how's it going to go down on Saturday, May 4th?
I think it's gonna be, you know, a really exciting fight. You know, I know, you know, Maidana, you know, he's coming with it. You know, he's hungry, and you know, we're gonna give fans, you know, a great fight. And you know how he said, you know, best man is gonna have their hand raised. But I'm gonna do, you know, whatever it takes, you know, to make sure that's me.
All right. Thank you very much to all the fighters. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you on Saturday, May 4th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. It is PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video. Canelo Álvarez, Jaime Munguía for the Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Also a loaded card, including Mario Barrios and Fabian Maidana. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody. Take care.